Cello, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another Demystify the Divine weekly reading and tools to connect. So excited to have you here. I'm a little tired. I'm not going to lie. I might even come across as medium energy. I very rarely come across as low energy because I'm just not. But I may come across as medium energy just because I did not sleep. And how many of you last night also did not sleep? I think it's part of the energy that we're in right now. It's also, I mean, it's part of the psychic thing. I haven't slept in years, to be honest, but I usually go in sort of different phases and stages. And last night I just didn't sleep. I laid awake staring at the ceiling, listening to a million different meditations and, things to try, all the things to bring me into that state of, and it just didn't work. So here I am. And you'd think that I'm like a 95-year-old woman because I'm like, oh, I wish I could just be curled up in my bed right now. And it's 8 o'clock. It's not even late, but so, here we are.
So you're the reason I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m.
Correct. Cause I was sending you lots of mojo while I was awake. Jeez. Yeah. And it's one of those things where just when you start to fall asleep, the alarm goes off, right? And you're like, damn it. Are you kidding me? This isn't right. But it is what it is. So anyway, very happy to have you all here. If this is your first time, welcome. So excited to have you. For all of my faithful viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today. Really excited to be connecting. We've got a full show as usual. Lots of nonsense and shenaniganery going on and laughter. I think laughter is truly the best medicine right now. We just went through a lunar eclipse. And so we are in this energy still. And this is the energy of what are you releasing so that you can, I want to say really quickly, put something in its place. That's very, very important for you to consider. What is it that you want to replace what is leaving with? And you want to be very specific about what that is. Because the manifestation energy is palpable. So our thoughts become things very, very quickly. So make sure that your thoughts are in alignment with what you truly want and that your thoughts are in alignment with, or I want to say your feelings are in alignment with what it is that you want, because whatever you think is going to become based on how you feel about it. And if you're a little bit, I want to say disguised about how you're feeling, that you're like, yeah, I deserve blah, blah, blah. But inside your little ego voice is going, no, you don't. You don't deserve that. Who do you think you are? What is going on there? You want to be careful about that. Oh my God, Andy Pandy. I love you, Andy. That's awesome. Are we out of retrograde, for God's sake? Yeah, so we are not, and we are actually just in a few weeks getting ready to amp up into another one. But it is a doozy. The energy that we're in is a doozy because we've got the solar eclipse that we just had on top of the lunar eclipse now. There's just so freaking much going on. And it's hard to, I want to say, navigate. We've got Mars in retrograde in Gemini, so it's affecting communication. It's affecting how everybody is sort of feeling. You might be noticing people popping off like crazy. You might be noticing that you're setting out to have a seemingly innocuous conversation that all of a sudden turns into, what the hell just happened? Like, is our relationship over? Is our friendship over? What just transpired? So, if this is what you're feeling and this is what you're feeling into, you're not alone and you're not crazy. There's a lot of stuff that is going on right now. It's intense isn't the word, because we've been in more intense, I want to say we've been in more intense energies in the I mean, even just in the last few months, we've been in more intensive energies than this. But the reason why this is a bit different is because it's kind of like I don't want to say like the last opportunity, because I don't want to give you the impression that, do or die. But there's an energy of finality here. There's an energy, if you really mean it, this is the time. Now or never, do it, get it done, because the next time it comes around, it's going to be different. And it might be a little more challenging to, I want to say, get on board. It might be a little more challenging to address those issues that you're trying to address in your life. This is a time to elevate, elevate, elevate. This is what we're all here to do. We're all here to connect with our frequencies and to connect, to get to know our frequencies so that we can utilize our frequencies for the highest and best of ourselves and for all involved. We are always connecting with everybody. You walk down the street and you're connecting with someone's energy. It's just the nature of it. It's the way that it is. So why not be aware of that? Why not bring awareness to that experience? And that's what we're all being called to do right now. And that's why the energies are inviting us, calling us almost desperately to pay attention, open our eyes, open our hearts, open our souls. What is it that we want to do? This isn't about purpose in terms of what is my purpose, my overarching purpose. This is, what do I want to do right now in this moment? What do I want to contribute? How do I want to contribute? Where is my energy at? Do I need to raise it? Do I need to spread it? Do I need to keep it to myself because it's not the kind of energy that other people need? Awareness of how you're showing up is so important. Wow, I feel like I just dove in and gave everyone a lecture. I don't know what that's all about. I didn't even go into my usual click the bell on the YouTube and the Facebook comments and all the stuff and the things. I didn't even do that. So anyway, if you're new here to the show, really excited to have you. Never a dull moment, even with my medium energy today instead of my large energy as normal. And we'll see how it goes as the evening progresses. But what we're about to do is, in just a few moments, I'm going to go into my happy place and channel a word of the week or a phrase of the week from our collective guides to see sort of the energies of where things are at this week, where we're going, things that we need to pay attention to. Then we go into our card pull, and I pull a tarot card and an oracle card for the week to further get information on those energies. Somewhere in there, whenever I'm guided to, I will do a channeled guidance. Last week's was really interesting. If you're just tuning in for the first time and you like what you see and you want a little bit more, I recommend checking out last week's. It was very interesting because my own personal counsel, my counsel of truth, kind of hijacked me totally unexpectedly. We didn't get a word or a phrase of the week. In fact, I think one of the people watching said something about it's the paragraph of the week. It was just basically they went off and decided, I don't care what your plans are here, Stacy Blackfeather. We have a message that we're going to convey to everyone. And so everyone needs to listen up. So we'll see what happens tonight. But there will be a channeled guidance in there. And then we do my favorite portion of the evening and of the show, which is the grab your decks section. And I love this because this is an opportunity for you to take the general message and to bring it into the individual for you so that you can understand, how do I apply this general message to me personally? And it's an opportunity for you to get to know your own personal deck and I'm happy to give, tips on how to make that happen, how to connect with your deck more deeply. Because let's face it, we use all of this stuff. These are all tools to allow us to connect with our inner guidance, our high self, our dream team that's out there, and source. And so this is just one of the many ways that we can do that. So I'm always excited to be able to tap in. All right, Mr. Keone, I'm gonna close my eyes and go into my happy place, and let's see what happens tonight.
All right. If you're new here, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Prepare for the unexpected. So definitely feeling the energy this week of needing to really be in flow, understanding that not everything necessarily is going to go according to your plan. It is going according to a plan, but it is not necessarily going to go according to your plan. And I feel very much that we are talking about the bane of my existence personally is the divine order and divine timing. I tend to not be a very patient sort of individual when it comes to my own life, my own goals. My mother calls me a dog with a bone. It's that kind of energy where I might have a particular plan and a particular idea of the way things are going to go. But source comes in and says, wait a second. Universe comes in and says, wait a second. You've asked for this. And in your limited sort of view, you think that the best pathway to get there is looking like this and this, so that A, B, and C need to happen in order for that to occur. But the universe source, the flow of all that is, sees everything from a higher perspective and understands that there's a lot more going on. And so what we deem as, we might have one of 4 options that we can see. Well, they have one of 5 billion, and they can go, oh, here's the best path. And I'm hearing that it's important for everyone to understand as well, when you prepare for the unexpected, what you do is you allow in a little more flavor into the adventure. And I also feel like they want to convey that not only do you allow that flavor in, but you also allow, I want to say, the possibility for new experiences that expand the mind, expand the horizons. So like I said, we might have, options in our minds of, one of 4 or 5 options, but they have so many more, and it expands our minds to be able to think in different ways, to be able to be more creative, to, I want to say, use more of our brains, use more of that brain power. And I'm going to say here, yes, we are talking about intuition. The brain, the mind is part of the intuitive process. It's just sometimes that, the mind is connected to the ego, and sometimes the ego thinks that it wants to be the boss, and it's not. It's there to do the heart's bidding. The heart is the boss. And so this is definitely a week where we want to prepare for the unexpected, but the unexpected doesn't necessarily need to be gloom and doom or something bad or negative. It's all in how we shift the way we view it, how we choose to embrace the divine order and timing, knowing that, okay, if it's not showing up in exactly the way that I thought it was, perhaps it's coming through in this way because there's something even better. This is a better way. This is a quicker path to success, a quicker path to attaining what it is that you're seeking. And folks, that is huge right now, is that we are in an energy where things happen very quickly. They happen more quickly today than they did even 5 years ago. So it's really, I want to say it's advantageous for each of us to be able to step into that space of surrendering to the divine order. It may be a thorn in your side, or, get stuck in your craw. But at the end, when you get on the flip side of it, once you allow yourself to be in that flow, you recognize, I couldn't have planned it any better. And I didn't even know this and this were possibilities. And yet, the universe saw fit to throw that into the mix. And I got 2 for the price of 1 kind of thing. So this week, I feel like we're all being invited to take the plunge, to embrace this opportunity to really be open to the adventure, open to the unknown, open to the unexpected. Because the unexpected, we've been taught to not trust it or to be fearful of it. Oh, if I don't know what's going to happen, that's bad. No, it's not. If you step into life as a true full adventure, how does that change how you view your life? What if your purpose was not, I'm a being on this planet being tossed hither and thither in this, maelstrom of craziness and chaos, and I don't know why I'm here and I'm sad about it, versus, I've got choice. I've got option here. This is quite an adventure, and there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Let me make it my mission to experience and explore all of it without judgment, and just sort of see what that does for my insides. Let's see what that does for my personality. Let's see what that does for that core soul purpose that I have chosen to come into this body for. So divine order and timing connected to the unexpected, I feel like they're asking us to sort of rewire our approach, our whole approach to life in general. And what this does is it allows you to not feel so under the gun, not to feel, if you happen to be a perfectionist, you don't have to feel like everything's got to be perfect. If you are struggling to find a flow, or find a motivation for where things are at, this takes the pressure off of that, so that your motivation is experiencing whatever is showing up in your now. It doesn't get much easier than that. You don't have to plan anything. You just have to show up and breathe and participate in your own life. So it's really, really big. Okay. So, Keone, you're pulling a card for me today, right?
Yeah, I am. Are we skipping the order?
We're doing card pull.
All right. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
That's the new way we're announcing it. All right, I was fixing me a drink. Here we go.
Too funny. All right, so we're going to skip the order. And Keone had this great idea just before we got on today, that he's going to actually pull the oracle deck for me, and I'm going to give a reading based on this oracle deck. So go ahead and pull a card.
Step your game up. Let's see what's going on here. I'm doing the Isis oracle deck. I want everybody to see me shuffling it. I feel like I'm in Vegas, so you don't think I just randomly already had the card selected. Me and Stacy didn't talk about it.
All right. We certainly didn't. We talked about the idea, but not the card.
2 cards fell out.
Okay, let's look at 2 cards then. What fell out?
It says, enter the chamber of healing, healing in the divine chamber of the Lady Isis.
Love that. Okay, wow. First thing I'm getting around that is, because of the healing chamber, we're basically going through a massive phoenix right now. We're going through the death process, and it's kind of like a combination of death and the rebirth all in the same time, the emergence piece. And so the enter the healing chamber is inviting all of us collectively to go into a space where we can take rest. We can relax a little bit. We don't have to be so, I want to say, in the throes of everything. When we are, I want to say, too much in flow, when we're constantly in flow, constantly in go, constantly in triage mode, what that does is it triggers a lot of what I'm hearing is survival mode. It's fight or flight, fight, flight, or freeze. And quite honestly, we've had enough of that over the last couple of years. It is time for us now to really sort of step into this space of full acceptance of this transformative energy, and also understanding that we can take a little bit of a rest. We can go into the healing chamber, that there is movement happening, and it can be very taxing. I'm hearing that for many of us this week, the focus needs to be on the physical body. It needs to be on giving the physical body rest, making sure that the physical body has self-care, that this would be a great week for people to choose, I want to say, a gentle detox, or a fasting for a day, maybe doing organic, switching it up, really just paying attention to what you're putting in your body, because the body is, quite honestly, getting a little burned out. The body is taking on a lot of the stress. And if you're an overthinker, you really have a lot of stress, because not only is the body receiving a lot of energy and information, but the mind then is also putting that added, I want to say it's the monkey mind, going a little bit cuckoo cuckoo in the brain, because you're overthinking, you're worrying, you're fretting, there's anxiety. So enter the healing chamber says, yeah, we're all going through a death and rebirth cycle right now. And we're in the throes of it. And we're going to be in the throes of it for a while. How can you take a rest? How can you take a pause? I keep hearing it's the rest between contractions. So this week, you want to take a rest between all of the contractions that are going on globally, collectively, as well as individually. It's really paying attention to the physical vessel. All right, what's the second card?
Second one is Truths Unveiled, the Revelations of Isis.
Oh, I love that card. Okay, so Truths Unveiled. 2022, we've only got another 6 or 7 weeks of it here, believe it or not, has been marked as the year of truth. And I feel that there's still some truth that needs to come to light. A lot of truth has come to light for a lot of us on an individual path. There has been some truth that has been sort of revealed in the collective. I feel that there's more to come. But that truth revealed this week, especially when we're talking about the preparing for the unexpected. What I'm feeling is you want to really understand that regardless of what comes to light, regardless of what comes to the surface, it needs to come through this week in order for you to feel completely free and clear. This is a clearing, cleansing time. We are in Scorpio season right now. And a lot of the energy of what we're experiencing really is to help us to eliminate the clutter in our energetic fields, to eliminate the clutter that is in our mental space, because we need all of it to be in balance. For some of us, it's clearing the clutter in the physical. The body takes on what we are not processing from a mental or an emotional level or an energetic level. So this is a week for all of us to really take stock. Yes, collectively, but also individually. And the way we do that is by paying attention, shifting the focus to our physical health. You know, I always talk about our body is our psychic antenna, and our body is the vehicle through which we experience and explore this life and live out our respective purposes. So if that body is not able to, I want to say, do what you need it to do, you're going to get a lot of frustration. You're going to feel very, I want to say, stop and start, push and pull. And to some degree, that is the energy of what we're here to evolve through, not out of yet, but through. But it's also to learn that there's a magic in that as well. There's value in seeing it, witnessing it, working through it in an aware space, and then getting to the other side of it and going, okay, not only am I stronger than I thought, my intuition guided me. I'm here on the other side. Not only did I survive, but I thrived. And I've got more wisdom. I've gained more wisdom and energy and knowledge and understanding that I didn't have before. And now I'm set up to be stronger, faster, better, smarter for the next time when something else comes along. So I feel like this week, there's just a lot of energy around shifting of perspective. What is your why for being here on the planet? And guess what? You don't need some pie in the sky energy to give you that. You get to choose it. And that's really what this week is about, is prepare for the unexpected, because you always have choice in how you meet the world, in how you meet what arises in your life. So I feel that that's really kind of a big message that's coming through, especially through the Isis cards. I love Isis. Goddess Isis is a freaking rock star. I mean, she's just such a warrior energy and a warrior spirit. And warrior doesn't always need to be about battle, and fighting. Warrior is the strength, the heart. It's the lion that's inside of you. And that's what we all want to touch into this week, I feel. Okay, I'm going to pull a tarot.
Hey, how'd Ragu get in here? Ragu, get out of here.
We got a sneak peek of Ragu today.
All right, Ragu, you're coming up when we get to that. I don't know how it popped you in, but
OMG. Folks, we've got the Tower card. So this makes a lot of sense. The Tower is a big part of the birth, death, and rebirth cycle. The Tower card is, and I'm not, you guys know, you can't make this shit up. This is the card of the unexpected. It's the unexpected obstacle that you weren't really looking for, that all of a sudden takes you by surprise, knocks you out of your comfort zone. So this depiction, it shows, sort of the tree, that the house of this, beautiful little squirrel and the bunny that are here. There's a squirrel and, oh no bunny. There's a squirrel and some beautiful butterflies here. So it's transformative. The butterflies are representing that there's a transformative energy here. But this little squirrel who's been gathering his nuts in this tree and maybe sleeping, hanging out here, suddenly has to find a new place to hide, a new place to store his stuff. And he wasn't expecting it. But here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that the house is burning to the ground. In some cases, yeah, it can be that intense. It can be that big. We're kind of in a tower. We've been in a tower for a while. So I feel like this is like a little tower within the tower. What else is this card all about? Perspective. So this card is coming through. Basically, I feel, oops, sorry for the earthquake. That's Mr. Neo coming around to say hi. I feel like the tower is coming through basically to validate the messages and the information that I've already sort of addressed in the what this week is about, the phrase of the week, and how important it is for us to really be aware of our perspective. What perspective are we choosing to show up in our lives with? If you don't want to change it right now, by all means, keep it. Maybe you observe it and you recognize, I don't need to change it. Everything's awesome. And this is where I'm at and life is grand. If that's the case for you, groovy. You've already stepped into more awareness than you had before. That's the goal. It's perspective around our awareness and why we're choosing to be here. I also want to say the tower is 16, which in numerology is a number 7. And 7, I like to say, is the energy of, it's like the prototype before you go into mass production. This is your last chance. And I said that earlier too in my thing. I can't remember exactly how it came through, but if you don't take this chance, it's not going to come around again in quite this way. So this is your last chance to make sure that what you're manifesting, what you're creating, what we're creating in the collective, what we're creating in our own personal lives is going to fit the bill. It's going to give us everything that we set out to invent, with whatever it is that we're creating. 8 is the mastery. It's the mass production. It's in many ways, the last lap. And once you go into mass production, it's very hard to backtrack. It's not as simple, but when you're in this phase, it's very simple. So the tower is coming through today as well for all of us this week to give everyone, I want to say, a little heads up, a little, hey, pay attention, open your eyes, become aware of what you're putting out into the world, because that awareness is going to serve you moving forward. Yeah, this may not appear at first glance as very fun, but it's happening for you. It's happening for all of us. And focus on gratitude. This squirrel, he's looking at, ooh, that's not so good, but he still has a couple of nuts here on the ground. So he hasn't lost everything. And he wasn't in the house when it happened. He wasn't in the tree trunk when it happened. So focus on the things that you have to be grateful for. Focus on what there is, not what there isn't. That's a huge energy message for all of us. I feel that that's really, really important. Okay, we're gonna do a little channeling. So I'm gonna tune in to the archangels. We'll see who wants to show up in the collective for a message for all of us. Greetings, dear ones. I am known as Archangel Raziel, and I am grateful to have this time to speak with you and to share messages from my brethren and sistren in the archangelic realm. You are all collectively struggling at this time to understand what it is you are witnessing, all of the various energies that you are feeling. Not a moment goes by that there is not some level of shift or change. And if you choose to bring awareness to your sensitivity, you will notice this even more. This is nothing to be concerned about. For this energy that is coming into your periphery must be ignited, must be activated. This energy can only be activated when it is processed, if you will, through each of your physical bodies. You have already received messaging around how important the physicality of your body is this week. I wish to add to this message and give you further information that your physical bodies are all collectively being recalibrated. Now, this is why you have felt a bit out of your bodies for a time, perhaps a little dizzy, perhaps slightly fatigued. This is due to the fact that each of your bodies needs to be adjusted in order to house the energies that are coming through for you at this time. Many of these energies you will learn to utilize in your daily practices. This is not that far off in the future for each of you. Mostly, however, this energy is being brought onto the planet through you for future generations to come. It is not their job to be the anchor, to lay the foundation. It is more their responsibility to begin to utilize the energies with the blending of their own love frequencies that they all will be naturally born with. This is a new era of humanity that we speak of. For those of you who are here now, it is for you to understand that your bodies need to adjust and calibrate. And that this is why so much emphasis needs to be placed upon the care of your physicality. I do not wish to alarm you. There is nothing wrong with your bodies, and the energy that is being processed through you is not harmful in any way. It is more that you are needing to upgrade. The energies are more refined than what your bodies are used to, as well as the various pollutants, both energetically as well as physically, that you come across every day. There is a shifting globally that is happening with this, and many of you are becoming more aware of the environment around you and your importance within the microcosm of that environment. This is all part of the plan, as they say. If I am able to convey nothing else, I wish to offer that this is a wondrous time for all of you to be on the planet. We wish that each of you could truly understand and see and feel from where we are at how exciting it is to witness these changes. Brave souls, you have chosen to walk a path of the trailblazer. Each of you is blazing your own trail. Own this fact. Step into this energy, dear ones. There is nothing to fear. And we are here with you, walking the path with you. We do this from a different dimension, but we are here. And if you allow your sensitivities to expand, you will feel us. I step back now and to allow you time to absorb what has been shared. Know that you are well loved, and all you need do is ask. And we are at your side, offering support, offering energy, and importantly, offering love. Be well. Okay. What's next, Keone? I'm in the clouds.
I have no idea. It's grab your decks. It's the part where Stephanie goes into her happy place for the fourth time today. That doesn't involve tequila. And she's going to think of 2 questions to ask. And then Keone's going to filibuster and do a lot of talking until she figures out those 2 questions. It's my favorite.
Good. I'm channeling right now as we speak.
All right. So while she's channeling, I'll get to filibustering. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again here on the Black Feather Intuitive for Demystify the Divine. As always, if you would like to join the Grab Your Deck section, go ahead and click that link that's in the chat. I'm going to place it in there one more time, just in case you don't know where it is and you won't have to stroll. We will take live requests first, and then we will go to a couple of card pullings and then get to guidance. We'll try to get to as many of them as possible. We like to be natural. We don't do sort of like a time limit when someone's speaking. So we go on feeling. Always love the support for the Facebook family out there, the Instagram family, and of course, who's been here since the beginning. Well, I think you started on Facebook for the Wednesdays first. Thank you for the YouTube family that came from Mondays to join the Facebook family on Wednesdays. It's been a great show. I know Stacy's tired. I'm tired. It's been a real tiring day, but we're all here, right? We're all here to get some lovely guidance and help in what we're doing. Always remember this. Even though you may have a specific question, I always tell people when guidance is given to others, there's always something that you can take out of that for yourself as well. Don't think it's just for them. It's also for you, or else we do it in private. Okay.
That's always a possibility as well, but absolutely. Yeah. I find that more often than not, so many people, they feel like, oh, my question wasn't picked, but then throughout the show they hear, oh, I actually got my answer. I received what it was that I needed. And sometimes that's an energetic shift. Something that I talk to clients about all the time when I'm in session. It's not only the words that are exchanged. It's not only the verbal messages that you're receiving. There's also an energetic shift. Sometimes it's the healing, sometimes it's a shifting, sometimes it's a boosting of energy, but you're always being, ironically, calibrated. So I feel that's interesting that Raziel came through with that message too.
And sometimes things come through very smallly. You might be asking, it's such a long day. Why can't anything go right for me? And not even notice as you're walking up to the store that someone opened the door for you.
Yep.
And you're not even worried of, hey, this is the universe trying to say, look, we're trying.
We are in flow. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so what's our questions?
So our questions for today: what card energy can support you in embracing the unexpected this week?
Mhm.
What card energy can support you in embracing the unexpected? And then card pull number 2, what energy will Goddess Isis show up for you as? How can you recognize her guidance?
Ooh.
Hmm.
ISIS. The perfect person to come in on the word ISIS is Ragu. Here he comes.
All right. Hey, Ragu, how are you?
Hi Stacy, hi Keone.
What's going on in your world?
All is good. I got sensitivity card.
Ooh, White Tara. All right. What is the message under there?
You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals.
I love it. So, what energy can support you in embracing the unexpected this week? You want to avoid anything that feels toxic. This can be feeling toxic to your energetic environment. This can feel like any kind of toxicity in relationships that you're having, toxicity in the environment itself from a physical perspective. So for you this week, it's really very much about, I want to say, self-care. It's really about the tapping in and saying, what do I need energetically right now? What do I need physically right now? What do I need mentally right now? What do I need emotionally right now? For you this week as well, you're going to want to pay attention to what you're carrying on your back, is what I keep hearing. So this is obviously, I don't feel like you're going to be walking around with stuff on your back, literally. So this is definitely, I want to say, exactly. It's definitely something for you, I want to say, energetically, empathically, you're picking up on someone else's stuff. You're trying to carry the load, carry the weight of it. And the reason why it's going to feel really heavy on your back is because it's not yours to heal, fix, or otherwise deal with. So I'm going to say to you this week, along with you sort of paying attention to what do I need to do physically for self-care, I also want you to pay attention to the empath in you. What is your empath taking on and carrying that isn't yours? That's super, super important.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
And this week it's extra. Like I feel like it's almost like you're going to do it without even necessarily realizing it, or it could be the opposite where you're taking it on and you know you're taking it on and you shouldn't be, but you're kind of like, I feel like I can't say no. I feel like an obligation to this. That's a big red flag where you want to say no. If it feels like obligation, I absolutely don't want to do it. Obviously that resonated. That was like a big ding ding. I can see it on your face. So be careful with that.
The second card I got.
Oh,
This
is good.
it really, you really can't make up this shit. This is ISIS.
Oh my God! I love it. So ISIS is going to show up as ISIS, but I saw there it says past life. So
It says ISIS past life. The situation involves your past life memories.
I'm feeling like the guidance that's coming through, she is going to be coming up in past life, but I feel like it's actually in dreams. So you're going to be having memories or experiences with her in dream state, and you're going to be releasing. I was talking about the warrior goddess energy. I feel like some of what's going to be coming through with your dreams with her in particular is there is an energy of battle. There is an energy of memory around having to really step up and fight the good fight and it not going well. And I feel like this is coming up because, again, it's really about the release. It's about releasing all of it. And you're doing it in the dream state so that you're not having to spend or exert a whole lot of physical energy, because your physical energy is being used to raise your frequency right now, just sort of in your day-to-day life. So your frequency is I want to say being focused on more important things, but there is also a release process that's happening. So Isis is going to show up in your dreams.
Okay, great. You know, it's so funny. We were talking about ISIS. Keone pulled you to ISIS cards, and I pulled these cards when this whole thing on the show started. I just kept it
To the side.
Face down.
I
And then
love
I just pulled it out and there
There
is
she
Isis.
is.
That's,
Isis,
that's so funny, Red, because it was like 2 minutes before the show started. I said, Stacy, I'm gonna do Oracle card. I'm gonna pull Isis, and she's like, okay.
I was like, all right, let's do it. Why not? Let's do it.
That's too funny.
So Isis is in the house today. She wants to be acknowledged. She wants to be known. So thank you for
she is
that.
a powerful goddess.
Yes, I love her. She's awesome. Neo apparently loves her too. I think Neo is her familial. Yeah. Yeah, you are.
So,
Thank you, Neo. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Keone.
hey,
You're
is
so welcome, Raiku. Have a great rest of your week.
the hand not there? Where's the hand?
There.
Awesome.
I am too.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See you. Who's next?
All right, long time viewer. Try Red says, "Can you pull cards for me?" Try Red is actually searching, doing a job search right now. So
Ooh. All right, try Red. So I'm actually going to pull a card from the Oracle deck that I was originally going to pull from today. And it's a bit self-serving because it's my own deck that I created. It's called Feathers of Wisdom Oracle. So I'm going to pull from that.
show the back.
Align. I am healed. So feeling twofold a message for this here for you, Try. So first things first, if you are in the middle of a job process, what I'm hearing is you really want to eliminate all jobs or jobs that come into your search path that aren't in alignment with your core values. So I feel like for you, it's right now less about the tasks of the job, like that'll all sort itself out. It's more about, this job might fit all of my criteria, but I don't support the company's mandates, or I don't agree with how the company, does business. So that's a clear, okay, moving on. I need to always align my frequency with the energy of what it is that I want. Getting a job is not just, I just need the money. Getting a job is, okay, I need a job that's going to pay me what I'm worth. It's going to pay me what I need. I'm going to be able to use my skill set. I'm going to be in service. And I get fulfillment out of it. I enjoy doing the work as well. So I'm feeling like you need to really get clear on, and don't worry about eliminating things because, it checks off most of the boxes, but not, two of the important ones. The alignment process is of such a nature that when you get clear with the universe, when you, I want to say, streamline with the universe is like, okay, they mean business. So let's get them exactly what they need. And that's how you get all of your boxes checked off, right? On your must-haves, in the process. The I am healed message, I'm feeling there's something that from a heart perspective, you've been really thinking about. You've been questioning. You've been, I want to say, even like questioning, did I say the right thing? Was that the right call? Did I make the right choice? And this feels like something that's coming up from the past. It's not even something that's necessarily in your now. I want to say to you, the I am healed piece, it's coming up so that you can sort of, I want to say, do one last kick at the can and then release it. But the goal is not to go into a state of, regret. I should have done this or I should have done that. It's really more of an evaluation and a review, because there's going to be an opportunity similar to the experience of whatever this is. It's going to come back around again, and it's coming soon. So you're going to have an opportunity to sort of revisit it and perhaps make different choices, or to approach it differently, or simply to approach it with the awareness and the knowledge of, okay, when I did this last time, here's what went well. Here's what really worked well. Here's what I wish, could have been better. So I feel like the align message is also coming up on a personal level for you to kind of prepare you. And so that it's fresh in your mind, it's fresh in your, I want to say, sort of your cellular memory, so that when the opportunity comes up, you're ready to go. You're like, oh, I know exactly what this is, and I know exactly how I'm going to move forward. Don't be afraid of this either. I feel like this is not something that's going to be sort of earth shattering or destructive in any way. In fact, I feel that it's going to be healing, where you're going to feel like, okay, I did this differently and I feel better about this outcome, or I did this differently and I feel good about the way this has turned out. And it's something that you're going to be able to sort of, I want to say, close the door on a little bit and be able to find resolve and move forward. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Thank you so much. I know I didn't pull a card based on the questions that we pulled, but that was just the information that I got for you.
All right. Awesome. Didn't we have, where'd it go? Karen S. said, I would love a card pull oracle.
Oracle. All right, Karen. So we're going to pull a card for you, and I'm going to do what card energy can support you embracing the unexpected this week? Because we know there's going to be some unexpected. So what can we do to embrace? Receive. Thanks, universe. Bring me more. I love this. Okay, so you want to really be in a space of I'm open to receiving. That means I'm open to receiving what the universe is showing me, how life is showing up for me. I'm going to receive it without judgment, and I'm going to choose to look at it as glass is full and overflowing. And I'm going to choose to say, all right, universe, you're bringing this to me. Show me the why so that I can understand that lesson, that message, that opening, but also so that I can receive I want to say, all that I deserve around it. And when I'm in that space of, yes, I'm loving that I'm learning this lesson, or I'm loving that I'm understanding more about myself, or I have more awareness around what I'm tapping into, then it's the thanks, universe, bring me more. I want to say you're in a phase right now of your life where there's a level of elevation that's happening on that spiritual or that energetic level. You, I want to say very specifically, are running into all sorts of energetic ups and downs. And there's a part of you that kind of, and I feel like most of it is a bit subconscious, but there's a part of you that kind of is shutting yourself down a little bit from that because you don't like all of the up and down. This is saying, wait a second, no. Open up to all of it, because what we resist persists. So you don't want to, I want to say, you don't want to resist what's coming through. It doesn't mean you have to be like a doormat and take horrible stuff. I don't mean that. It's more opening to the energies and allowing the energies to show you what they have to show you. Because when we are open to that, we move through these things much more quickly. And often things are not all that they appear. Things are not always what they seem. And so it may start out to look like, ooh, this isn't going to be so good. But in the end, it turns out to be awesome. So you're not going to know that. You're not going to be able to receive that unless you open to that path. So feeling that really strongly. Also, the black and the red that's coming up here, it's very connected to, I want to say, root chakra and I want to say shadow work, but I keep hearing soul work. So I'm going to say it's connected to root chakra and soul work for you. And I feel like when you are in that space of, I want to say, grounding so that you can really deeply connect with the soul energy, that's when you're, I want to say, when you're really in the energy of that, I want to say, your own frequency that is elevating. And that's where a lot of the magic is going to happen. So I hope that makes some sense for you this week. And thanks so much for letting me pull a card for you.
We got a twofer because Terry and Dimple are asking somewhat the same question for a card pull. Terry would like to know guidance about family relationship, and Dimple is talking about coworker and colleague relationship. So I guess let's talk about family for Terry.
Yeah.
What's the feeling there?
Terry, I'm going to pull a tarot.
Mm-hmm.
The Lovers card. So in regards to your family relationship, Lovers is all about self-reflection, or how I see myself through another's eyes, how another person sees them, sees me through their eyes. It's very much a self-reflection energy, or a reflection of other energy. I feel like for you, when we're talking about this family relationship dynamic, I feel like it's really important to see the person as they're presenting themselves, but then to also see their heart space. And you want to receive it, and then you want to reflect it back to them. So it's not reflecting the negative behavior or the frustration. It's reflecting back the love that you know is there. And I feel like for you, it's because you want to bring awareness to whoever's involved in this situation. You want to bring awareness to the fact that you see their heart. You know their heart, you understand their heart. This isn't about throwing in their face the way that they're disappointing you, or the way that you feel that you're disappointing them. This is not from an ego perspective. This is all heart related. So you want to reflect to them, I know you, I see you. Yes, we're having these sort of 3D problems. Yes, we're having these issues that, I'm really confused about. I wish we could resolve it. Yeah, I'm feeling frustrated. And at the end of the day, it's all about love. We're having these issues because there is a connection. And that connection we might see as being broken or bumpy, but it's a connection nonetheless. And at the end of the day, you are working to maintain that connection. And that connection can be in the physical, or that connection can simply be energetic, depending on what you need, what is going to be the best, the highest and best for you, and the highest and best for all involved. So this is not saying step into toxicity. This is saying reflect back to them their heart. Because when you reflect it back to them, it is what they receive. And I feel that it shifts. It shifts them in a way, you're providing healing. It shifts them in a way that allows them a little more growth. It may not show up exactly the way you want it to. The result may appear to not be exactly on target, but know that the healing is occurring. And it's because you are choosing to reflect heart energy, not the energy of frustration or fear or lack or anger or whatever the issue is. So really step into that reflection space. That's super, super important. I hope that helps. Thank you for letting me choose a card for you.
And then Dimple's one was about relationship with colleagues.
So the Lover's card, in terms of relationship with colleagues, what I'm hearing for you, Dimple, is awareness of other from the perspective of being aware of their game, being aware of their motivations. And this comes, sometimes you don't know on a visceral level what that is. You can guesstimate, but you don't know for sure. So this is definitely going into your intuitive space as well, and really connecting from there to say, all right, I'm feeling like I can't trust this person. So what is it I need to know about this? I feel like this card for you is opening awareness around motivation. And when you get that feeling of what is this person's motivation, it allows you right away to know exactly how you're going to choose to interact with this individual. So I'm feeling like this particular colleague wants something from you that they feel that they don't have, but instead of being open and honest about that and saying, hey, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. You're so great at skill X. I can't do that to save my life. Would you mind helping me? Or I would really love your assistance on this particular project. I've got to do this and this, and I'm really struggling. I've got all the other stuff, but I really could use some help. Instead of this person sort of not being prideful, lowering their pride and coming to you straightforward, what's happening is they're fearful, they're insecure. And through that insecurity, they're now approaching you. It's kind of like someone who approaches you and automatically manipulates because they automatically assume that you are going to say no. it doesn't occur to them that they can be straight up and you could say yes and be totally willing to help. So you want to be prepared for that, because I feel like this particular colleague, their issue is that they're a bit intimidated. They don't like the fact that you're better at something than they are. And so from a motivation perspective, they're being manipulative. They're being a bit sneaky. And that's why you're feeling like, I'm not really sure how to navigate this, because you're still trying to navigate it from your approach. You know, you're not a sneaky person. You're not manipulative. So it's hard for you to wrap your head around this. And I'm not suggesting that you turn into someone who's sneaky and manipulative, but what I am suggesting is, you know, sort of this awareness of other. When you're aware, you tap into your intuition, and your intuition is going to guide you. You know, if I'm going into a conversation and I don't really know what to say, I'm going to connect my high self to that person's high self. I'm going to have a convo before we have the actual convo. And I'm going to, you know, envision what it is that I would like, you know, as the outcome for the highest and best. Another thing that I'll offer to you is if you want to connect with your team, you can call in the archangels, or you can call in anyone on your team and say, I need this conversation to go really well. I have no idea what to do or what to say or how to make it flow. Speak through me, please, so that the highest and best of all involved are there. So I feel like you can get help, you can get assistance with this particular issue with a colleague as well. But the key for you is awareness of their motivation and awareness of the fact that they're approaching you because you have something they need, but they're not coming at it straightforwardly. And so for you, it's, you know, knowing is half the battle. So if you're already aware of that, you are, I want to say, less likely to be bombarded or bamboozled, right? It's you can be a couple of steps ahead of the game. You can, or like I said, you can be in flow and trust that source is going to take care of the issue, and that you are present and focused, and that you are open to receiving the guidance that is required to help you navigate the current dynamic. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes some sense. Thanks so much for submitting your question. I wish you luck with that.
All right. Terry says, thank you. Yes, it helps.
Awesome.
And Karen says, oh my God, picking up my jaw from the floor right now.
Awesome. Glad that works.
Thank you all who came on live, and thank you all who submitted your questions. As usual, we're sorry that we didn't get to everyone. Please try to come on live. It's the fastest way to get in, and keep supporting. And Stephanie, I will let you take us out.
He always calls me Stephanie. I think it's so cute.
Because I work with like 5 Stephanies, so it's
I know you do. I know you do. It's fine. I honestly, I've gotten that all the time in my life. I always get a different name. You know, Stacy, Stephanie, Star, Sasha, Sarah. Yeah, I get it all over the place. It's all
you can say that thing I always say, hey, I've been called worse.
Yeah, that's right. I've been called worse. There's nothing wrong with being called Stephanie. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, please feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on the YouTube. Every like helps. Every subscribe helps. One of my big goals is to reach as many people on this planet as I can to provide this guidance and support and channeling and all this fun stuff. And I can't do it without your help. So thank you for being in this co-creative process with me. I'm grateful to you. Also, a lot of us are struggling right now. If you are finding that you're hitting a wall, you're finding rock bottom, you're not quite sure where to go and what to do next, I would love to connect. I do 30 and 60-minute sessions to really get to the heart of the matter, to give you some clarity, to give you some practical application guidance to help you move through that. So feel free to check that out. My website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. There's also links below in the description here. You can click on that. And I've got my Facebook page, The Black Feather Intuitive. Feel free to check out my stuff on Insta. I'm always putting out readings and guidance and all sorts of fun stuff. So I just really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being on this wild ride called life with me. It's an adventure, and I enjoy being on the adventure with all of you. Have an amazing week. See you later.